desire and non-attachment. Can the two coexist at the same time? Stay tuned. Damon here with NLP Gym. NLP, money, and Buddhism. Now, if you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Now, I know that might sound unusual to put those three things together: NLP, money, and Buddhism. So what does this all have to do with each other? It's about non-attachment and about how different possibilities can fit together and coexist within the space that you are. I'm not going to get too high-minded or too lofty here, but it does incorporate some of that with Buddhism, and I think it's a nice place, a meeting point between NLP and Buddhism and Eastern thought and philosophy. And this really comes from the work that Robert Dilts has done with Steve Gilligan around non-attachment, and that is something called the Tetra Lemma. The Tetra Lemma, as I understand it, is something that exists, or it's a concept that exists in Buddhism. Instead of a dilemma or dilemma, there's a Tetra Lemma. So instead of being caught between polarities, two opposite poles, it's expanding this into two other possibilities, a total of 4 possibilities. Robert Dilts and Steve Gilligan created a process called the Tetra Lemma. And what that is you start off in a place of being connected and grounded. Then you become aware of the 2 polarities and you assign one on either side of you. It usually comes from a feeling, and it's usually a polarity like, yes, this is true, but this is also true. And you step into either polarity and you get really well acquainted with both of them, and you get a sense of where this conflict is. And then you step backward and hold both polarities at one time and let them coexist. And what is it like to be the space in which these 2 polarities coexist together, and that both of them are true, not one or the other? It's an interesting place to be. It's, instead of the word but, it's the word and. So it'd be like, this is true, but that's true, and then you change that to, this is true and this is true, even though it seems to be opposite or opposing or contrary to each other. Then you step forward into, neither of these are true. What is it like if neither of these polarities are actually true? And this is an interesting place, because this is where the new information, the new insight can really come in. Now, what does this have to do with money? Well, this was a process that really helped me solve my money problems. I started out with the polarity that, a lot of times you can start with one limiting belief. What is the limiting belief you had or have? The limiting belief I had was, I'm not good with my finances, or more specifically, I can't get ahead in my finances. So I started there. What was the opposing belief about that? Well, actually, I am pretty good at my finances. I've been pretty good at finances since as far back as I can remember. I was pretty good with money even when I was a kid. So I explored that truth. So if there's one polarity, one sort of polarizing belief and limiting belief that I can't get ahead in my finances, there must be another one that's holding that together. And that was, in fact, I am very good at my finances. So I explored both. And then I stepped backward and held both at the same time and allowed myself to be the space in which these seemingly opposing polarities could coexist. So what if these are both true? What if more specifically, what if I can't get ahead in my finances and at the same time I am good at my finances? Some interesting things start to happen, and not all the time does it happen right at that moment. Then I moved into, what if neither of these were true? It's not true that I can't get ahead in my finances, and it's not true that I'm good with my finances. And this is a place of really leaving that polarity behind, really stepping out of the polarity completely so that new information can come to you. And then you start to realize that that's really sort of an imaginary problem that I'm creating. It's very real to me when I'm in the polarity, but the truth is that this is rather made up. I'm not experiencing a financial polarity at the moment. So I'm able to step out of that and then gain some new wisdom, gain some new insight. And you take it back into the now, and then you hold all 4 possibilities. And this is an amazing place to be, and I've seen this interpreted by other people through Buddhism. If you walk through life with these 4 possibilities, maybe something is true, maybe it's true and something else is true at the same time, and maybe neither are true. It is amazing to sort of hold that space for all of these possibilities, and then it gives you more choice. Well, which which one do you want to go with? That's one way you could look at it. Or what new information do you gain by stepping out of the polarity altogether that then maybe creates a completely different situation or a whole new belief that is much more empowering and not limiting like your other two beliefs. So it's really something to explore. It's really something that every single person is going to get something different out of. It's also known as a conflict integration. There's a rather crude visual squash, we call it, in NLP, that is a conflict integration. This is a more elegant sort of conflict integration. It's also a way to break out of limiting beliefs and give yourself more possibility and more choice. Check out our website, nlp-gym.com. Follow us on Facebook for real-time updates on free practice sessions and upcoming workshops that we have. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you like this video, please click like right down here and leave a comment or a question. I will definitely get back to you. Stay tuned to the end of this video. You will see an opportunity to get your hands on a free online sensory acuity course. Take care.